occasion of our press conference will be addressed by real big guns. And I'm glad to have the other people who will not be speaking here to provide support. We have taken some decisions at MICA. I know they used to have the weekly press briefing here every Thursday, but we believe the government is achieving a lot, and we've got a lot to communicate. So we have chosen intentionally to talk to you twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we're not going to be speaking to you one time the whole week anymore, we'll do it twice. And what informed our decision is the fact that we think the government is making a lot of progress. And we're going to communicate the progress that has been made. I am inheriting some issues concerning MICA that I just wanted to talk about. We are reviewing some of our people assigned abroad because there are some inconsistencies. There are places we had Minister Counselor for Press and Public Affairs. During the past administration, some of them were replaced and not replaced by someone from MICA. We're working with the different actors involved to solve them. There are places where, as the law says, we should have Minister Counselor for Press and Public Affairs. We see cultural attaché assigned there. All of those issues that are inconsistent with the law creating MICA are being looked at, and we will definitely take the required decisions to get it right. MICA also have a program on ELBC. For a long time, they call it MICA half hour. Our new administration is thinking, how can we use 30 minutes to tell our government story? Since the program was meant for just once a week. So we are changing that program to MICA hour. We talked to Fadon in time, because like I said, one thing we have to do is to tell our own story. Nobody's going to say it for us. We got to do it. Let me comment on something that has been trending in the media as the final talking point before I gave the time to the distinguished guest to speak. In 2017, the head of the Executive Protection Service recommended to President Sirleaf. At that time, they were working on the Transitional Act to include in that act the question as to how our former leaders are protected. Those of you in the media are aware that the Transitional Act did not go through. So there's no law compelling people to do what they ought to do to protect former presidents. Notwithstanding, it is just common sense that you will do something to ensure that your former leaders are safe. So it's on account of that, former leaders, particularly since President Sirleaf, because she was the first former president, do have officers of the Executive Protection Service assigned to them. When President Sirleaf became former president, the government assigned 15 EPS officers. 8 of the EPS officers walked away on their own. So she was left with 7. Former Vice President Bouaka had 12 EPS officers assigned. 3 were withdrawn by the government. They did not walk away. Currently, the EPS chose to give EPS personnel to former President Weah. The former president rejected 8 of the officers on grounds that he does not know them. But he also made a request that he needs 38 officers to be assigned to him. The head of the EPS has indicated to me that they will not assign 38 EPS officers to the former president. The assignment of EPS officers to individuals is at the discretion of the President of the Republic of Liberia. It is a presidential unit. And that is the reason why they wanted to make it legal, by ensuring that it was reflected in the Transitional Act, which did not go through. So that presidential discretion, which is embedded in common sense, is being used to ensure that our former leaders are protected. And the government's commitment to ensure that not just President Weah, President Sirleaf, and other officials of government who the president deemed necessary to grant EPS officer will continue to do so. But let me caution us. We politicize everything in this country. National security issues, our foreign relations, everything we try to politicize them. I am pleading with all of us to please do not politicize issues that are associated with our security sector. The EPS has grown in size. Right now, there is an investigation that is ongoing, a total evaluation of the hiring processes in the past, because there are qualification benchmarks for individuals who should serve in the EPS. It has been noticed that some of those benchmarks were not met, and therefore we have individuals who are serving as EPS officers that are not qualified. The administration, the EPS leadership is determined and prepared to correct that. And in the midst of that, when they assign security personnel to you, you cannot make a choice as to who you want, rejecting officers. These are people who should be independent, pure security people, no other interest. And the EPS leadership is determined to stick to that. I just wanted to make these points and now have the distinguished honor to invite the Dean of the President's Cabinet, Foreign Minister of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency, Madam Sarah Beslo Nyanti, who will address you. Madam Minister.
So folks, the Dean of the Cabinet, Her Excellency Sarah Beslo Nyanti, is about to speak to the press. So she is just taking the podium. So we actually can't share the light.
Let me firstly greet and thank all of the members of cabinet and other officials here and other observers in the fourth estate. Thank you for your availability to be able to listen to us today. Due to national security concerns, the government of Liberia, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, hereby suspends with immediate effect the July 2023 revised passport regulations and reinstates the March 2016 passport regulations. All those bearing diplomatic, official, and service passports known as privileged passports with the duration of more than 2 years are hereby requested to return them to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs commencing tomorrow, March 19, 2024, and this exercise will end on April 18, 2024. All Liberian citizens and non-Liberians who are not eligible for diplomatic, official, and service passports should kindly return the passport to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs regardless of duration of the validity period. Those passports will be cancelled with immediate effect. All those with multiple diplomatic, official, and service passports are hereby informed that those extra passports will be cancelled with immediate effect. Should you have any questions, or if you have information that justifies you having multiple diplomatic, official, and service passports, kindly contact the legal department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Reissuance of diplomatic, official, and service passports will be based on eligibility. The cost of the replacement of said passports will be free of charge to our citizens with costs borne by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For those outside of the country who are holding diplomatic, official, service passports that need to be replaced, kindly report that to the nearest Liberian embassy or consulate. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs regrets any inconvenience that this action may cause to Liberians at home or abroad. This exercise has become necessary to ensure that we address national security concerns, and it cannot be delayed or deferred. In this regard, everyone is encouraged to comply with this notification to avoid any inconvenience at ports of departure and entry. For questions or concerns, please contact the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at 0888 500 055 or 0775 00055. Let me repeat those numbers: 0888 500 055, 0777 500 055. You can ask for Garrison Jala, who's heading up this special project team, Patrick Gafwan, Hassan Conte, or any one of the team members, and they'll be able to assist you. Thank you.
So they say at top five ministers who gotta be moving the step. So let me also do honor and respect to another guest, Madam Sewa Nanaba. Sewa should be a part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs team as she's been nominated as Assistant Minister for Press and Public Affairs. And Hassan, whose name the minister just called, is the operational assistant at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Let me just say before I call the Justice Minister, that part of our policy position is moving forward. All officials of the government of Liberia who got to talk to you in the press will use the Ministry of Information press conference as the platform. This is the national communication platform, and we will elevate it by ensuring that this is where all of our people from the different sectors will come to tell the story. Having said that, Mr. Justice Minister.
Good afternoon, ministers and government officials here. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters of the fourth state. I just want to talk about the incident that have been that involved in our country or the last reference to the Kinjal protest. The first time this occurred, unfortunately, it erupted and led to the death of some of our citizens, which the government highly and deeply regret. As tension again started mounting last weekend, a ministerial delegation traveled to Kinjal to engage the protesters, the communities, traditional leaders, and the management. When the team included the Honorable Self, the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Minister of Labor, the Deputy Minister of Information, the AG, and a team from the National Bureau of Concession. We engaged the protester first. We met with the traditional leader. We were welcome. We also sympathize with the bereaved family and express our condolences on behalf of our president and his government. We met with the protester who had a meaningful discussion in the interest of peace, tranquility, and harmony. And from those discussions, we are being informed that today all is calm. The protests have been stopped. The company has recommenced this operation, and so far all is good. We hope that it remains that way peaceful We all pray for a peaceful country, a country governed by laws, a country in which the rule of law is respected. But people have to understand that the government is in a position, is like one of my professors said, a twin brother. You can't overlook any of the children who are sucking. So we try to be listening and see how the government can resolve issues. It's an ongoing process. The government will continue to be engaged with issues. It's a process, it's not a one-day thing. We are so informed, the communities, the protesters, the workers, that we will be there, we will heard the grievances, we listen to all sides, including the management, we listen to the petition, the ACON petition, and the government is working seriously hard to make sure that the issue are resolved. On the issue of the passport, you heard what the Minister of Foreign Affairs said. It is a national security issue. When you have situation in which your passport, especially your privileged passport, are being looked at with skepticism by the greater community, everybody is skeptical when a government official or a diplomat presents a passport or put an entry that's cause for concern. And the measures being taken by the Minister of Foreign to safeguard that, to safeguard the integrity of our passport, to let the community of nations know that we are among them. To try to do things, keep to all international treaties and conventions that our government have entered. They uphold the different attributes, consulate and diplomatic and treaties and things that we sign. That always an effort to safeguard the passport, integrate the passport, and to make sure we do things the right way. And that's why she announced the new policy is the termination of the revised regulation and the bringing back of the March 2016 regulation. So you give the government a little chance again, you see the effect of the new policy and how it will help our nation to progress and once again clean the spot we have among the community of nations. Thank you.
You know, the way this hall is packed and the people from the top are here, I like it. Zago is very uncomfortable. The place is hot. Eugene, you see where we face 50 times? I'm even ashamed that I have the date of the president calculated in an oven. So when we were coming here and said this place is an abandoned place, it's this, and people were talking something else. But I guess as everybody will start coming here, even the Minister of Finance himself will come here to address the president, then you will know that they play here, they got to put money in. Mr. Nathaniel Kelly, quickly, just run over that stuff so we can take some questions, starting with the dean of the president's cabinet.
Good afternoon, ministers and government officials. Good afternoon to the fourth state. Again, Nathaniel Kevin is my name, and I manage the Cable Consortium of Liberia. It is a public-private partnership with government and MTN, Orange Liberia, Telco. And last week, Thursday in the morning, the cable experienced an outage that I would say, for better words, put Liberia in black. Nobody were able to get on the internet. And this was about 4:46 a.m. So we all woke up to no internet, no WhatsApp, and what have you in the data space. 2-3 hours after that, we learned that the cable cut was somewhere between Dakar and Abidjan. But because it's a wide area, it took some time to locate where the cable cut came from, because there were a lot of speculations. And when we did identify that it was closer to Abidjan, what next we noticed and observed based on reports that it was not only the ACE cable system, which Liberia is a part of, but 4 other cable systems were also cut or had a cable break. So that even multiplied our problem. Because normally when there's one, then we rely on each other to see how we can reroute the traffic. But when you have 4, SAT3, main 1 cable, ACE cable, and MTN wax cable, all 4 went down, affecting over 15 countries. On the ACE cable, 9 countries got affected because 9 countries were members of ACE, and Liberia happened to be one of the 9 countries. Liberia have a partnership with ACE cable, and the operator that operates the cable is called the Cable Consortium of Liberia. This cable has been in existence since 2010. Since 2010 to today, we have had 3 of such incidents. Another information is that Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and Gambia are the countries that only have 1 cable system in their country. And that poses a challenge for these countries, especially us in Liberia. But we have managed over the years since this cable came live to find different ways of rerouting and redirecting the traffic when it happens. Unfortunately, this time around, when 4 cables were out, it was hard and we had to go through a war room type of situation to address the issue. Yes, it is a national security issue. It's a national security issue not for Liberia, for all the countries that were involved. About 6-7 o'clock, we then decided that the best way to do this is do a multi-pronged approach. Have the people that can maintain the cable kind of start working on the cable, at the same time try to redirect the traffic that was on each country. And redirecting the traffic meant that we were not using 100% of each person's network. Liberia normally will go to Ivory Coast and get on an express bus and go around the world. We couldn't go to Ivory Coast anymore. So we resorted to go from Liberia to Freetown, hoping that we get enough capacity and facilities to go from Freetown to Guinea, hoping that we get enough capacity and facilities to go from Guinea to Gambia and then to Dakar before we're able to go around the world. As we speak now, we have about 40% of our capacity restored. That's not a good number because I noticed that some people are still having problems with slow network, not full WhatsApp conversation, but we're working on it. It's not only Liberia, so everybody had to be given a portion of their facility to make sure we bring back their countries live. We are committed as ACE, CCL, to ensure that we bring the cable back to 100% recovery. We ask for patience, and when I say patience, I'm not saying 2 days patience. What has to happen? The ship that buries these cables will have to go to that location, and I think there's a couple of locations they have to go to. It takes about an average of 2 weeks to get those ships, first of all, negotiate for them to go out into the waters. They might be somewhere else, but we have to negotiate and get them there. And once they are there and the work has started, it takes another 4 to 5 weeks to complete their work. So what we are carefully doing in the interim is to ensure that whatever cable we have now, with the limited capacity, that we are guiding it with everything we have. So most cable station, landing stations have been advised that they have to run a 24/7 operation. They have to watch everything that is coming online, because the minute we sense anything, we need to be able to redirect so that you, the consuming public, are not affected as happened on last week, Thursday, March 14. But as I said again, we are committed, and I will turn the floor back over to Mr. Minister.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Come.
You can have a seat. So we will take 4 questions for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, 2 for the Minister of Justice, and 1 for the Secretary. Yeah, 2. Thank you. Please come in the queue. Introduce yourself.
So you wanted to take a question for the minister now?
Yeah, foreign affairs
She
now.
has to leave.
Foreign Affairs, diplomatic question. Please come in the queue. Please come in the queue. 4. Thank you. Introduce yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Christine Humaru, and I'm a reporter from ECOWAS Radio. Your Excellency, you spoke about the termination of the revised diplomatic passport. I want to know, why is there a need for a new passport regulation? And then secondly, how will the process be done? And how will the Ministry of Foreign Affairs ensure that this new passport will be issued to only eligible individuals? Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the cabinet. My name is Desmond William, and I report for Inter TV and Agro News Network. My concern to Madam Minister, you spoke about security implications on the issue about multiple passports. So I'm so concerned about what specifically are those implications are for which this restrictive regulatory policy is coming out. And my second question goes to the Minister of Justice, Councillor Choi. Honorable Minister, we follow the issues in Kingo, at which time the President Barker, designated a committee to go and investigate the issue. And at the same time, the House of Representatives, under the gavel of the Speaker, Jonathan Funadikova, also selected a committee to go and investigate the situation. We want to know, what is the report of the executive committee that was designated by the President following your explanation that all issues in Kenya have been restored, operations have been going on, and with the protesters coming up with 38 counts? Where are the reports, and what are the reports indicating for which operations are being restored in Kenya with the concerns of the protesters? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Minister, and the high table. My name is Darlington Walker, and I report for the West Africa Democracy Radio and Africa Reports Online in France. Madam Minister, you are keen on ensuring integrity to our passport center. And before coming to this position, a major scandal occurred involving Sheikh Basrur County. Are you in any way concerned about this passport scandal? And maybe bringing to closure the issues of the case involving Sheikh Basrur County, don't you think this is also important to ensuring integrity towards the passport center? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Minister.
Thank you for all of the questions, and I will respond to all of them holistically because some of them are interconnected. What we have done today is not to impose a new regulation. what we have done today is to suspend the most recent revision of the regulation, which was dated July 2023, to reinstate the one that was in effect before. That ensured that all privileged passports, diplomatic, official, and service had a duration of 2 years. The July 2023 regulation gives a provision of 6 years for privileged passports. And given some of the challenges we have with the passport system and some of the national security concerns we have, we feel as an administration that 6 years is too long a period for people to be out there with our passports when the system isn't strengthened. Hence why it is a national security concern, because we need to make sure that the passports are in the hands of people who should have the passports. And so the validity period that was in effect prior will be reinstated, which is a 2-year validity, which, by the way, is the norm. I have not yet in my research found any country that has a 6-year validity for their privileged passports. I found some that have 5 years, United States, Pakistan, Nigeria, but not many. Most are 2 years validity. So what we're doing, into the other question, is not a restrictive policy. It's just going back to what we've had in place for many years until we can strengthen the system, until we can review the most recent revision to make sure it protects Liberia's security interests. How it will be done is the numbers that I provided, the names that I've given, you call those numbers. We have a team that will be ready to receive their calls. Let us know, when you want to come and bring your passport back. We will already be working on the list. We know already who's eligible for those privileged passports in terms of the current administration. We know who's eligible from the former administration, the former presidents of this country, the former vice presidents of this country, former chief justices, former pro temps, former speakers, and former foreign ministers are entitled to privileged passports, diplomatic passports. So we'll already be working to ensure those VVIPs will get their passports as soon as possible. We won't need to wait in order for us to start working on that. The legislature, we know the legislature, we know those who are in the 55th legislature who have been issued passports who need to have them replaced. But we also don't know many people who have privileged passports who are listed in the database, who we don't know to be ones who are eligible. Those ones will have to come and confirm their eligibility to be reissued. Those who are not eligible, those passports will be cancelled. The pass scandal that you mentioned and every other issue related to our passports, it's not a secret. Everybody knows, you've been hearing about the issues related to our passports. All this is about is making sure we strengthen the process. There are officials of government who travel with official passports, and they are detained or delayed in some places in Europe because of the lack of integrity of our passport. That should not happen to Liberians. We have a mobility index that is so low. There are only 29 countries that we can travel to without visa. Our mobility index, our passport integrity index is so low. Our mobility index is 14%. All of these things are related. People want visas to go everywhere, but it's related to the integrity of the passport as well. And so we need to work on all of these things simultaneously to ensure that we as Liberians, all of us, have better mobility and our passports can be trusted. We will ensure that the team is working every day. Even on weekends, they will take calls. They may not be able to receive passports on the weekends, but we'll make sure that they are available to the public so that this process can be as efficient as possible. Please note that this is really a situation that we cannot avoid, and we really want you to please bear with us as we work this out. It's in all of our interests. You would never want to hear that your passport is in the hands of somebody who, when it is something evil in some part of this world. All of us should desire that our passports should be protected. Thank you very much.
So the minister has a meeting, very important meeting, so she will not wait. She will depart, and the questioning will continue with the Minister of Justice and the CCL.
The Minister of Information will respond to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Member of the press, please stay to your sitting position, please. Please. Thank you. So we will take questions for the Minister of Justice. If you have, please come in the queue.
Thank you. My name is Steven Ramos, and I report for Channel FM. I'm a bit concerned about the current situation of food in the country, where party litigants or pretrial detainees have been detained for several years since the government came to since this government came. There are now the appointment of Solicitor Generals, Assistant Minister for Litigation, County Attorneys, and I'm properly functioning as the Ministry of Justice actually concerned about addressing these people issue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister. My name is Maurice Waleti, and I report for OKFM. I just want to know how far is the investigation regarding the incident that took place in Kawa that involved the LAC guy and one Josephus Tube. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Domingo. I write for the People's Newspaper. The issue in King George, there were some citizens who got arrested. They are still being detained in federal prison compounds. How far are we with that case involving the citizens of the American country?
The Minister, you can address those concerns.
Thank you. In respect of the first question on the report of the King George incident, as I stated, a 38-count petition was submitted to the government. We went there yesterday. Of course, we didn't go through all the 38 counts of the petition. Those counts are being looked at. Investigation are being done. All the parties will be questioned. The various teams from Labor, the National Bureau of Concession, Justice, Joint Security, everybody involved. Then we'll come up with a report, but it's a process. That report will be submitted to the President, and he will authorize the release. But it's a process, not a one-day affair. This government will take its time, not be too hasty in doing reports and come to a conclusion. We beg your indulgence. We beg your indulgence. It's a long-standing investigation. We study each county petition one by one. Do the investigation, talk with all those concerned, to try to do a report that adequately addresses the issue. We want to address the issue in a holistic manner to get to what we say the nitty-gritty and find a workable solution so we all can live in peace. And people who were brought to the country to help us for our economy will be able to carry on the work in a peaceful atmosphere. In respect of pre-trial detainees, this is an old age problem. It is more evident now because of the overcrowdedness of the different prison facility. The Ministry of Justice, in conjunction with the courts and the public defenders, are working on a arrangement to see what can be done to try and ease the overcrowded situation at the prison. But you have to again consider. When we talk about pre-trial detainees, you gotta be careful. How you look at each case that be done on an individual basis. You have people pre-trial detained because of allegations that committed rape. Others have committed armed robbery and other heinous crimes. So you can't just go in and just grab people that say the overcrowded and all of y'all go. You put in some hardy, you put in some very hardy criminals back on the street, which want to avoid. So again, it takes time to work in we can't be too hasty. We got to do things right and proper. We understand the problem, but addressing, so now finding solution is more difficult than the problem exactly. but it'll take time. We'll get there. And the car where incident is being investigated by the police. The incident that led to the death of a resident of Caldwell. But you gotta understand, when the police gets involved in a matter, we try not to allow the police to investigate itself and give a report. So we try to incorporate others into that investigation so it can be an unbiased and transparent investigation, and the report can come out that will be satisfactory to all. So the investigation is ongoing, and as soon as it is concluded, you will be informed. Yes, when the first incident in King George occurred, arrests were made. Arrests were made. But those arrested, they are being investigated, but presently they have been released. People signed for them. So as of that investigation, I don't think we have anybody for that incident in custody. But the investigation is continuing, and as the need arises to talk to those suspects again, they will come forward. Those who respond for them will bring them forward. Thank you.
So let's take Nat, if you have a question for him.
Thank you. Do you have a question for Mr. Nathaniel Kelly?
Cable consulting.
Cable consulting at the TECO? I think it's more technical. So, Minister Pia is looking for question. Do you have question for the government of Liberia? That's more easy. I think that is technical too. So the Deputy Minister for Technical Services.
The Mika on technical?
But
I have a confirmed, appointed and confirmed government official here. Great things are happening at LBS, and I think we should hear from Pagon before.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Minister Pagon. Yeah. Your own platform.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the 4th Estate. And let me say good afternoon to my bosses here. The Honorable Minister of Justice. I always say the only man I can argue with the President. If you argue with the President, you lost your job. And I have my friend and brother, Gerald McPeer, and all the Honorable Steve Zago. You guys are not strangers to him. But it's great to be back with you guys, and I'm sure you're familiar with the voices. You guys miss me a lot. Yeah. But anyway, it's good to be on a very formidable team. And let me say at LBS, I said to all of you the other day that LBS will never be the same. And so we had our first meeting. I had a meeting with the Chinese ambassador, accredited to this capital. Our meeting lasted for over an hour, and it was very fruitful and rewarding based on the previous meeting he held with the President, His Excellency President Joseph Numa Boakai, and that with the Minister, who is also the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Liberian Broadcasting System. So we got off to a good start. He immediately sent for the construction team, and the team arrived in the country. Many of you saw my Facebook post. We took a tour of the facility, so by October, something should be happening for a brand new facility. In the meantime, there will be lots of work going on. So it's just great to be back. We're here to rescue, and we will rescue. That is, I'm happy again that all of you here are from various news networks. You're from various media institutions. But let me be clear, LBS, and I'm happy the chairman is here, is now going to be a public broadcasting system. We're not going to be the mouthpiece for any political party or political leader. We're going to give you the news as it should be. LBS will be open to Muslim, Christians, women, men, seditions, unity partisans, churches. Everybody will have their say. And yes, as Director General of the Liberian Broadcasting System, the government contributing 60% of our budget, we cannot afford to give them just 30 minutes. It will be an hour for MICAT. Having said that, to many of you, you've been helping us. Thank God the chairman of the board is here. We're not in the market to compete, but LBS has always been number one, and that's the way it's going to stay. And we're going to recruit the best. So some of you here may not be with your institutions. We're going to pay high to get the best and deliver to the people as enshrined in Article 15A going forward. So maybe I'll take one or two questions and that's it.
Thank you. The transformation on LBS, please come ask questions.
Quick, the minister got to go.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Fagon. I just want to, hear from you what's your vision for the substation in other counties.
Thank you very much. There are 7 substations for LBS. 7 substations. The last time I checked today, all of them were up and operational, but they consume a lot of fuel. So we're going to be looking at alternative energy, such as solar. If I can spend $25,000 on a substation, I will be glad to do so for about 2 or 3 years, than to spend $25,000 for a period of 6 months on fuel. So we're going to be putting everything on the table, and we're going to do everything that is possible to keep the station afloat, to keep the television and radio stations afloat, and to keep the system working.
Thank you. Director, I'm so concerned about staffers' welfare. Well, my name is Desmond, like I said earlier, my name is Desmond William, and I report for Indra TV and Liberian News Network. You came from a background where staffers have been one of those bills you emphasize on. I can remember that human being salary should never be tampered with. How do you intend to, tackle down the effect of workers or laborers at the LBS being underpaid? Because as per record, I'm sure and I'm certainly convinced that reporters at LBS received at maximum not less than $100. So how do you intend, in terms of transformation, in keeping with best international labor practice, how do you intend to gravitate staffers' welfare at LBS? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. I'm sure that will be the final one. We will take into consideration the Decent Work Act, and in keeping with the law, we will pay our staff. Secondly, equal work for equal pay. Thirdly, you cannot have a professional and pay him the same wages as you pay the guy that is just doing something of help for you. We're going to pay people based on certain categories as the handbook prescribed, as the wages determine. But most so, we're going to go in the market for the best, and we're going to negotiate to be able to pay people the best. I must say this, LBS, according to law, can raise its own funds, can generate revenue, and can manage its own affairs. So it wouldn't hurt me to pay somebody 5 times more than what any of your stations are paying if they're one of the best in the market. And the reason for that is simple. The Liberian people deserve the best, so we will pay for the best and give the Liberian people the best. Thank you very much.
Minister Samuel, the Deputy for Technical Services,
Eugene Lamin Vagon, Director General of Liberia'S Broadcasting System, speaking there.
We would like to appreciate you, our media friends, for always honoring our invitation to come here and listen to allow Liberian people to follow the accomplishment of the government through your medium. We appreciate you for that. Listen to the minister when he spoke earlier, he indicated that this platform henceforth will be the only platform via which government institutions will speak to the Liberian public to disseminate information surrounding the progress made by government. And so, in furtherance of that, on this Thursday, we have here the asset recovery team to be speaking to you, members of the press. So we also look forward to see you here. That being said, we'd like to commend our distinguished platform guests for today, for coming today to speak to the Liberian people. I do believe that some of the information that have been given here will help to clarify the doubt if there were any lingering on the minds of our people.
On that note, we say thank you, and we look forward to see you on Thursday. Thank you very much.
First of all, we want to say thanks for being there. We want to say thanks for following. This is Liberia Public Radio Online TV. Talent James Kabal, Ben won't be on the camera, bringing you all of it here as Migat, regular press briefing. We want to say thank you very much.